Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tales of Recovery. We're here at the studio with my friend and sister from another Mr. Gloria Muriel. Welcome to the Tales of Recovery again.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for being here. I think um, the last time we recorded was in Spanish.
Yeah,
So this one we're going to do it in English. I
yeah,
mean, we're going to go back and forth more than likely.
because we are in a border town.
Exact. Because this is a border
City.
podcast.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
honestly, one episode English, one episode Spanish, one English, one Spanish. So
And one Spanglish in between.
yes.
Well, thank you for having me, my friend,
My neighbor.
my neighbor.
Of course, anytime. It's always great to be able to record it because I think we have such deep conversations, so much that we've been through. Um, I've really relied on you for deep, deep emotional support
Oh my God.
throughout
Thank
these
you.
past couple of years, and we've had really good experiences. And so I said, well, why don't we talk about some of them on the podcast, especially because I think a few months back we thought about talking about life after breast cancer,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And I know there's a lot of listeners in here that are breast cancer survivors, and so this was for you. I
This
mean, it's
was.
for everyone, but may it be helpful. May whatever happens here be an offering and be helpful, right? This is
Yes,
part of what we're trying to do here is una vida de servicio, que lo que sea aquí que ayude, ¿no?
yes.
Y que nos divertamos.
Yeah, have fun. In my. Okay. Well, English or Spanish. On my way driving here, I was like, huh, what? How am I going to? I was just asking actually spirit, great spirit, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
just to, be a good channel for me to talk and for many listeners to, I don't know, heal or get a nice little something out of it. Because we have so many layers.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, oh, I have this right now. I'm feeling, I don't know, the masculine energy because I'm almost very tomboyish. And then, oh, I want to get my feminine energy out, and with the art and this space makes it even better because it's a very spiritual, holistic, and you feel safe and you feel happy. So, and with the art, I'm also just tell your story and whatever comes from the heart,
Yeah.
which is the hardest thing to do sometimes.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I honestly think, and I know how easily and deeply you connect to the heart.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, I've seen you. Tu breath, salen los recitos, no sé qué dices. Y yo, ¿cómo le hizo esta morra? Se conectó bien, cabrón.
Cuando salen, salen.
Yeah. Es la conexión. It's the connection. And I also want to acknowledge, I don't know if they can see it in here, but there's this beautiful mural that you painted here of Kuan Yin um, and the magic mushrooms. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Everybody that comes in here is like, whoa. So this, it's just how. And if you know Gloria or if you follow Gloria, if you don't, you need to. Gloria Muriel, Gloria Muriel, because so much of your art livens up San Diego murals, Tijuana, Los Angeles, south of Mexico. I think they're Mexicali, right? They're everywhere.
Yep. Así es.
And it's really beautiful what you express. So thank you for your art.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So you want to talk about? I think you've been outspoken about your diagnosis with breast cancer and the whole process you did, and then cancer survivor y todo, ¿no?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I feel we don't talk enough about what happens after. Because when you get diagnosed, you get most of the friends, the people that love you there, and they're right next to you. And then when you're like out of the, the case,
The main stressor or
the main stressor or the main cancer,
treatment.
no, or the treatment, you're out of it. Then it's like, okay, so now what is next? After taking all the, talking about layers and stripping you, out of like your pure core.
Yeah, so much
Like,
fear, no?
so where do we go from there, no? It's more of like also, I feel it's an identity, no? Como que they strip you from all the layers that you had, starting with the hair, with the todo, everything that has to do with physical too, no? Te quitan
Right.
even your color. Se te va el
Changes.
color.
Yeah.
Yeah, from therapy, I feel like you're very vulnerable.
With the chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you feel weak and you feel vulnerable, and you do all these changes in your life and habits that you want to see what you're gonna, what's gonna remain. No, con qué te vas a quedar? What are
Right.
the good habits? And because you did so much treatment or so much medicine, change of food habits, and then so after the hardcore, what am I going to stay with? No,
Right, right, right. Do I go back to eating pizza or do
do
I?
I go back to? And so it's like a very thin line, because I feel one of my weaknesses is coffee.
The coffee is good,
I know, but todo en extremo, no,
but
all
not
in
so much.
extreme is
Yeah.
like, okay, so go on and off, and you know. So I feel what I've learned most is like to listen to the body,
Right.
to listen to the body, listen to the heart, and it's still hard for me to jump, or not to jump back into my old, well, I used to drink coffee. Okay, so now you're gonna have like maybe one cup, or just switch it to matcha. We were talking about matcha,
Yeah.
and do a little bit of that. And also emotionally, I mean,
Right.
I'm jumping from one thing like food habits to also emotional. How do you feel? How do you want to react to some things, or some, even, I don't know, a day in life. How do I feel
I mean,
today?
you did so much. Um, well, let me ask you this, because during the process of the chemotherapy, okay, and then afterwards, because I think once you were done is when we've talked about it's like, okay, what had happened after I was done, or during the process that you had to, meet with guides and temazcales and and try to do emotional work to see where did this come from,
Mm-hmm.
and so that part, I think you've told me that it really influenced out que entro? That influenced a lot of your new choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
um is that where you were going?
¿A dónde vamos?
It's good.
Where are we going with
Where are we
this?
going with this? Um, because I know you drink green juice, you eat so much fruit, you eat a good, you do, well, not green juice, but
Yeah,
the
I mean, I
celery.
did the celery juice, y de repente, and then suddenly I changed to also like seawater. No,
Oh
I'm like
yeah, yeah,
right now
bueno.
in that, and of course I don't grab it from the Tijuana Ocean, or
Of
right
course,
here it's filtered and you order
deep
it.
sea water.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like if you, I'm like, okay, why seawater? You're like, and I feel it's the eldest um, element, living thing that has brought life, no, into
Yeah,
the universe, or into
yeah,
this planet, no,
right,
is how we reconnect with life and its origin, like water, and then started with, what is it, lichen or plankton,
right,
the cells, so you're drinking a little bit of the origin again, to
right.
re to what is it,
Regenerate,
regenerate
restore.
cells, restore, no? So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm drinking seawater in the morning with a little bit of warm water. And I also, which is, I feel it's very important, because you can drink whatever gold if you want, or take
Yeah,
something, but if you don't give it the intention, if you
right.
don't say it or feel it and believe it, that you truly heals and it's truly good for you,
Yeah,
then, well, you're just drinking. You can drink whatever you want.
it's not gonna work. Yeah, you
It's
have
not
to
gonna work.
participate.
Exacto.
Yeah,
So I feel, and sometimes we forget that the intention is right so important, and it's right inside of us. No, you heal from within.
Right.
That's what's hard. I feel for many people. There are so many distractions outside. People, podcast, TV,
Yeah.
anything could be a
Books.
distraction. It's just leave your phone. Give yourself 5 minutes of your time, of your breathing, of your that, and that will be the starting of a good, healing day. But
Right.
it's, man, we forget.
You have to do it. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Almost like you were saying, I don't know who I was talking, but it was like almost set your alarms.
Yeah.
No, set your alarms and be like, okay, now you're gonna give yourself 5 minutes to stop doing what you're doing, and give yourself this
Time
little
to
bit.
breathe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, siempre you always tell me, um, well, te está poniendo un hasta aquí. Like,
Yes.
you gotta calm the fuck down. You know?
That
And
is
I'm like,
right. Yeah.
yeah. So
And
how did that, like, after the diagnosis, like, after you're like, okay, you're cancer free, ring, ring the bell, then what happened?
Well, I feel that's what cancer brought me. The just chill, woman, chill. Like, who's rushing you? Like, we have this little ticking clock out up our un cohete, pues, no, a little rocket up in our
Un
little
cuenta por el
asterisk.
Q,
Yeah.
Q, por el cutie
and
pie.
and that's what it gave me. Like, okay, so you have this diagnostic, no? There's And the oncologist told me you're mine for the next a year or two, year and a half. You're cancel everything you've got. And I was like, oh, so
Wow.
yeah, like in 2 seconds I was like, all right, because what is more important than your life? You don't have. I can have murals, projects, all of this, but if you don't chill and calm yourself to heal yourself, you're not going to be able to do all of those things. So cancer has really put like a, not a stop, but a like a cálmate, like
Yeah.
just chill. You don't have to do everything all at once. So I've learned to be way more calmer, to be in my body, to be happy in my house, not moving all the time, not checking emails all the time, just really being present. And I feel that's when we met, when I was finishing my treatment, and you were doing a lot of somatic practices. So it was like, oh, right,
Right up
perfectly,
the alley.
no? Right up the alley. And the change of from, okay, let's go events and drinking, la la, and now it's like, okay, now we're gonna sit in a circle in ceremony, and really talk about feelings and talk about yourself and how are you doing, like reviewing your heart, your body, your mind, your soul, which we can forget so easy. No.
Yeah. Yeah. How hard was it to do that? That because a lot of times the emails, the running, the planning, this and that keeps us from experiencing other emotions, other things.
Yeah.
So
Well, I remember at the beginning it was very overwhelming because I was in that in that rhythm, in that frequency, and it was really hard for me to, how do I stop? And I remember asking Great Spirit, God, please bring me some spiritual help, because I'm not gonna make it. Like, I can't just make it with um, chemo and doctors and hospitals, which for me was super unfamiliar.
yeah.
That was like my first getting sick stuff, not even surgery, nothing. So for me, it was very shocking. So I had to like learn really how to sit, meditate, um, even sitting at ¿cómo se dice los MRIs? No,
Sí,
sí,
la
are they?
MRIs.
Yeah, the MRIs. It's a weird ass position
I know.
to get your boobs checked
Yeah.
on MRIs, and so you have to be still, very still, for
Did you
at
have to have
least
your
45
arms out?
minutes. Yeah,
And
hell,
then they
like
put the
Superman. You're
contrast.
like,
Oh, it's horrible. I know.
but the first time I was freaking out, I was almost gonna get like a, what is it, like a claustrophobic attack. Like,
Yeah.
what the heck? And then I started meditating and calming myself down, and I would fall asleep on the next well,
for the next
I don't
one.
know. Yeah, exactly. That the next MRI. So it's very much practice. You know, they
Did you
have to
do it through
come.
the breath or
Yes,
yeah?
practice through breath, and I of course had all my spiritual friends and spiritual masters and spiritual teachers that helped me all along. I would never have done it
Yeah,
myself. And all the also the prayers that you feel that they don't count, they count.
they
I
do
mean,
count.
all of the people, because I wanted to, say nothing, just keep it quiet and don't not share something so personal. But my friends were like, you have to let us help you. You have to just share what you're going through. So yeah, once you open and people are really sending you all the good vibes, prayers, they work.
Yeah.
It's less pain.
Are you glad you did that? Are you glad
I
you opened
am.
up?
I
Yeah.
am super glad.
Good.
Um,
If somebody's in here wondering whether you should tell people or not, if you are sick or have diagnosis, or
yeah,
it's
come
better to
out
talk.
and
Come out.
ask for help,
See.
and I feel what I was most afraid of is like other people seeing myself vulnerable. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, because I was super strong. I'm gonna start crying,
It's okay.
maybe, but it's just
Yeah.
showing yourself weak and vulnerable was really, really hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's scary. I'm assuming.
super.
Yeah. I mean, but that's how I found out because
Yeah,
I was like, I was after your ass. Come on, man, come to the podcast. Let's hang out. And you're like, no, no. Oh, hold on. And then when
I'm
I
going through
saw,
some shit.
we didn't even say
I
that.
think I was getting diagnosed that when
Then I saw somebody posted La Ani puso like a little candle, and I'm like, oh shit, this is why.
yeah. Oh
I'm
my.
like, what can I help you? Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you did that because it gives other people an opportunity to pray with you, to send,
Hmm. Even as artists, no, I've had some artists reach out and say like, "Yo, thank you for doing this because I was alone doing my whole process and it
right,
was really hard, you
yeah,
know." And yeah, people don't want to share, but you gotta, because that's why you make your community. Also, that from out of cancer, I'm like, oh my god, the community was so amazing with me. The whole San Diego, Mexicali, Tijuana. I was like, wow, because I couldn't work, I
right,
couldn't. So they helped out. I still had to pay a lot of stuff, mortgage, all the
right.
stuff, and it was like great. And I never stopped working, but I wasn't up there painting
Painting the
walls,
murals and stuff.
just
Yeah,
very super chill, very within my healing space, and also blocking people, also learning how to say no.
right.
And I'm trying to also right now, same thing, it's like keep just
The
doing the things
boundaries.
that, yeah, the boundaries, doing the things you love, but not trying to take over too much.
Yeah, it's a really good testimony. Just a good visual of how we do live in a village that cares. We do have community,
See.
and whether some people you can the tendency can be to like, oh, the world is a shit show, todo vale madre. But even just the way that you were supported, that all your artist friends, all your Mexicali Tijuana friends, although las carreras que hacían, the races and the
Yeah, oh
fundraisers,
my
and
god.
so there is there is goodness in humanity,
There
and
is, and I didn't have to die to see it, That's
right,
another one. I was like, oh my God, this usually happens when someone dies. But I'm like, I,
exactly.
I didn't have to die. And they
Qué
give me,
bueno.
that's how I felt they gave me a choice up there. They were like, okay, so you've got stage 2 or 3 cancer. Whether do you want to keep going or you want to say bye bye now? On these territories. I'm like, I really like it here.
Yeah,
You put your life on perspective.
yeah,
Like I really like my life. I
yeah,
love where I live. I love my life. So
yeah,
it's like, okay, what's the most precious thing that we've got? It's our body, ourselves, the vehicle, no, in which we move. So also
yeah.
trying to be very aware and grateful of every little single bone and tissue in our bodies. And
Right.
muy cabrón. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. You well, yeah, and you become aware that well, I'm assuming you become aware of just how precious everything is. The breath, como dices, the touching,
Todo.
the eyes,
Hmm.
even the hair when it grows back. Like
Even the hair, because I was like, I'm gonna be fine, bald. I'm gonna look good, and then I was like, oh Jesus, without eyebrows? Are you kidding me? No,
Hannah, where's
no
the henna?
eyelashes. I swear,
Oh
I would
yeah,
cry, and my tears didn't know where to go. I
yeah,
feel like the hair that holds the tears, they're there because of
for a reason.
for a reason. Exactly.
I remember my
It,
mom. My mom didn't have eyelashes either cuando le dio.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
I would have to like at least grab a little, you know, eyebrow
A little
pencil in the
eyebrow pencil.
morning and like, okay, just draw them because you're gonna freak a lot of people out. Starting with my kids, if you go downstairs like that,
Oh shit.
yeah. I think they stripped you out of your physical and spiritual.
Yeah.
No, not spiritual, but your mental
Yeah.
identity. No, what you ever thought you were. Adios, ciao,
Wow.
gone.
Yeah.
So whatever is left is the spirit, and that's the one that we need to nurture.
And so, how did you nurture that spirit?
Well, I feel I had a lot of really good teachers that were helping me, um, starting with art. No, my own,
Yeah.
doing a lot of affirmations and writing what I am grateful for almost every day, and doing some also. I was doing yoga. Well, I do yoga.
Right. Right.
Um,
Right.
Also to feel the body, how it's doing, how it's moving. Either you feel weak, but at least you can go for little walks. Um, a lot of praying.
Yeah.
I did a lot of praying to every God that I believe in. God, goddess, even the community and the people that also, prayed and friends. A lot of that. So whatever you can hold on to spirit, um, and also trying to relax the mind.
Right.
That was like the hardest thing for me because I was so mentally oriented. Like that's a very masculine energy. So everything was like through that. So I completely had to almost destroy it, no?
Yeah.
This destroy that theory that you think that this is how it's going to be, but no, just
Let
really
it
let it
be.
flow, let it be. And through spirit, not the mind, you have to be in agreement. Also, Gabriel, the nutritionist and psychologist and doctor, he was helping me all along with supplements. He was telling me you have to also be kind to your mind. Let it has
Oh,
always siempre te ha defendido. It has
always
always been
defended you.
your good lawyer
Okay.
for whatever it is, but now you need to tell the brain to just a ver, calm down. I am now going to listen more to my heart, to the feelings and my body. And yeah, you can be present, but in the background, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to stop controlling everything. Stop it now. So what do you have to listen to the heart? And the heart doesn't make any noise. It's not as noisy as the brain. And this one you have to be very quiet and in your own breath to listen to it.
Right. That's good advice. De
So
Gabriel.
yeah, looking for all kinds of meditations that will help me find the heart because I wouldn't even break for tears to cry. It was really hard even to cry because I was so
Right.
hard.
Hardened up.
Yeah, I had a whole coraza, cause like
Like a coraza, like yeah, like a shield,
a
an
shell.
armor,
Yeah,
an
like
armor.
a really hard armor that had to. And now I feel I'm grateful that cancer came in because it helped me just see. O sea,
Transform everything.
exactly. Tumbar la muralla, no? It's a
Uh-huh.
like break through that whole wall and restart again. But here's where the PTSD comes, no? That you feel like it's not gonna happen again. You're fine.
Right.
Forget about what it. And they told me like also a spirit. Gema me dijo, just forget about what happened. It's not gonna happen again.
Right.
Yes, it happened, but you don't have to relive it because you're afraid that it's gonna come
Happen
back.
again. Right.
So no, you went through it like a really bad cold,
Ya fue.
and it's gone. It's gone. It's not
Yeah.
coming back. And then
Yeah.
that too, no, because a lot of people live with fear of what. But what if it comes back? But what if I don't do this, it's gonna do that? And you're like, no, you have to be con huevos. Say
Right.
like, no, you're
Right.
not coming back. I did my job. I went down deep roots emotionally, and I did my job. Not
Mm.
only the doctors,
Right. You did your own emotional work digging into why.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is this whole body mind medicine, that everything is interrelated, and I do. Um, I mean, I witnessed it. You going
Yeah.
inwards and going and you telling me all this. Well, not all the time, but some things, like how you went in and did all this internal deep work, because it's beyond just having the doctors give you chemo. You know,
Yeah.
you talk to the taitas, to the other, con Gabriel, other spiritual people. I know that you also helped yourself out with microdosing
Yes.
and,
I
these
was
master
doing.
teachers.
Yeah, I was doing. And also, I'm super grateful for. I don't want to forget this. No, bien agradecida with all my. They're spiritual doctors, no?
Yeah.
Con Lili, Don Pedro,
Mm-hmm.
Guillermo, contigo, con Carla, con Annie, con Gabriel, Mari.
Right.
There's so many. I was doing
Mm.
temazcal. I was doing Epsom water baths. I was doing all kinds of vegan diets, seeds, supplements, all kinds of that, and it wasn't a burden for a lot of for me, for a lot of people, because every human put their little grain of sand, no.
Right.
But oh my god, the spiritual did help me a lot to just forgive, forget, let go, all of that.
Yeah.
That you have to apply yourself todo, like
Right.
it was like every day working for yourself, just to be better.
Right.
That was my
It
job.
it's interesting how, so you have to wait till the shit is the fan in order to
Yeah.
understand that this is part of what we need to continuously carry ourselves, and because even now it's been, I don't know how many years since you're
I
done with
got
that.
diagnosed in, I think, 2021. 2021. It's been 4 years.
And I still call you. I'm like, what are you doing, Gloria? You're like, I'm setting up the altarcito. We're gonna do the receipt, or we come
Oh
over
yeah.
here and we do the prayers. We set the fire, living with intention of that connection is well. I mean, you're saying that it carried you through, but I think it could carry all of us through.
Oh yeah.
You know,
D- yeah. Sometimes are we feeling restless? I don't know, because the planet, whatever, the moon. No, blame it on the rain. But you're like, why do I feel like this?
yeah,
I need, and that's when the community and friends come in. Like, yo, do you want to come and sit? Let's,
sit in the fire.
fire, and
Let's eat
let's
some
sit
mushrooms. Just kidding.
and do a little maybe microdose. And I remember I was microdosing because it gave me a lot of emotional stability. You
Mm.
know, the plants that I was working with there were a lot of plants. It was a Santa Maria, which I love, weed, and calms me down,
Mm-hmm.
and it brings me right to the heart. I was also taking peyote,
Yeah.
um, very small quantities of it in tea with moronel, also a magic plant
Mm-hmm.
that is very good at drying tumors. And
Healing at a cellular level. Yeah.
yeah, but everything were like low doses. And I remember I was like, should I go in for a super high hardcore ceremony? And I remember one of the taitas of the grandfathers were like, no, Gloria, you're already in your own ceremony. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
So yeah, because with the moment that when they diagnose you, you're like your whole world changes and you're inside another realm of
Right.
your own cartoon, no, going on. So yeah, that the microdoses help me because it just gives you no panic.
They
You know
ground you.
that everything is gonna be fine. So it totally grounds you very very much. And those are one of the things that I'm keeping.
Yeah, for sure.
After, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, PTSD. Instead of taking any antidepressants or any of that, I prefer definitely the plant world.
See, no side effects.
No
And
side
if you
effects.
microdose, some people ask me, "Well, I microdosed," and I was like, couldn't handle it. Well, then it's not a microdose.
Yeah, exactly.
Microdose is just very little, very
Very
little.
subtle. You
You don't
you
really feel
don't
it,
feel it. You don't feel queasy. You don't feel like you're gonna go in fetal position or
or process.
start. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, on the contrary, you feel light. You feel grateful and calm. The
yeah,
pre I don't know pre surgery. You're like, okay, I'm fine. I'm gonna be
yeah.
fine. Everything's gonna be fine. You don't get those anxiety attacks that I used to get.
Yeah, it's crazy how they work. And you know what's funny? This girl was telling me she just went to the doctor. She had perimenopause or this or that. Y que si le baja, que si no. And the doctor told her, "Well, I can give you antidepressants and gabapentin or some shit like
Oh my
that."
god,
Uh-huh.
that's
She
crazy.
called me and said, "What are you? These guys are so. They're just." I'm like, "Look, that's just their training.
Yeah.
The training is pues déjate doy aquí." But now there's enough information out there to be like, well, what about no? How about we check my hormones,
Yeah.
and see? Not don't just give me a patch that's gonna cover them all. How about we check?
Yeah, but people, we
How
don't want
about
to
we
do
do?
the hard work, you
And I
know?
think also sometimes people don't know how to advocate for themselves
Yeah,
at the doctors
that's true.
because the hard work, yes, people don't want to do it. Sometimes, hopefully, if you're listening here, I think most of the people listening to us in this circle are into
Do
doing the
like
hard
to do
work.
the hard work. Yeah, that's why they're listening.
Yeah, or at least they like to listen about it. I hope we're all doing it. You don't all have to do it all the time, but if you don't, you miss out, no, a little bit.
Well, I feel how, o sea,
How hard is hard? It's not really hard. I'm just saying it's hard work if you're over here valiendo madres and you don't know what to do and you're like, oh, I'm gonna take antidepressants. I'm gonna
yeah.
get super drunk all day, or I'm
And
just not gonna
it's easy also to
connect.
just give all the responsibility to the doctors.
Exactly.
You know, that's super easy. Like, here,
Yeah.
you take care of me, you're the doctor. But I'm like, you're
Give me a
only
pill
gonna
and
see
heal
me
me.
like for 20 minutes or 10
Yeah.
minutes. Oh, what is it, a week right now? Let's put a
Yeah.
week or every 2 weeks or every month or year, if you, depending on your checkups. Like, you can't, they're just doing
Yeah.
routinely shit. Like, you can't even,
Yeah. And it's a business. You need.
yeah. And you know your body, like, you really need to connect to your body to see, look, no, this is happening. Cause I feel like they
Right.
wanted to give me different chemo one day, and I was like, no, like, you need to advocate and be strong for your body too. Like, I don't know, a second round of chemo, just in case, just in case. I'm like, no, just in case you're gonna fuck my body up.
Right.
Like, it's just in case I might have cervical cancer or heart failure and all these risks. And I'm like, no, I don't want the just in case.
Wow.
I want to.
That's good. That's great to listen and to be. But I think to listen to your body, you have to be doing connecting work like you're doing.
Mm,
You have to be, the microdoses
yes.
help you connect. The
Yes.
plants help you connect because we're also plants, part of the planet.
Or
the
you do a
mushrooms.
lot of meditation.
Meditation, prayer.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just sitting with who you are, so that you can learn to trust again. Otherwise, you're just walking around in fear, like, pues el doctor dijo.
Yeah, or you start getting to know yourself again, no? Like, I know this person and this is who I was, and now it's like, okay, who am I after? And I feel I'm still going through some identity crisis, starting with the hair. How many times have you seen, like, I change it, I cut it, I'm like, no, on one side, otro color. No, oh my God, it's just like, maybe it's something super superficial, but it's I don't know. It's how people see you. It's how you see yourself, and it's how you want to be seen. So
Yeah.
everything affects.
And I don't think it's superficial because it's how we're created. It's how we're designed. It's almost like thinking like que un pavo real. How do you say pavo real in English?
Peacock.
Like a beautiful peacock is that her beautiful tails and her hair on top is superficial.
Mm.
It's not. It's art. It's beauty.
It's
All
beauty.
of the time, all of our ancestors, they would paint their faces, and we're always looking for beautiful colors, and so it's when you're stripped of all that, you might need to go inwards, which is not a bad exercise.
You have no choice.
You have no choice, but to be able to express in hair or this and that, I don't think that shit is superficial
No,
at
and
all.
I feel it's hard even to for a lot of people, like hard to acknowledge your own beauty. Your own beauty,
Right.
you know, for me is like very, I don't know. Sometimes I try to put it in art and I try to be like, no, that's not, I'm not. I'm like, if I'm beautiful, I need to acknowledge that. And I, inside or out and out.
Right.
So it's, yeah,
Yeah.
it's resetting all of those traumas that you had. You're like, no,
Yeah.
who cares about,
No.
and
You are
it's like,
beautiful, and that's very powerful what you just said. To be able to say, acknowledge that I'm beautiful. It's
yeah, without any,
well,
like,
I see. ¿Qué te crees? Ya sabes.
uh-huh,
Or, yeah.
exactly.
No. So that's.
So look at
Mm,
yourself in the mirror in the morning, say, you're so beautiful.
mm,
Which is, it was at the beginning, yeah, I love you. It's so hard sometimes
yeah.
because you're not even feeling it, but it's a good exercise to do. Like, that's it. That's all you got.
It is. Self love is gonna change the
Mm-hmm.
everything. Yeah. And it's so funny because you're so. I see you as you're so loving. You're so loving. You're so sweet. You're so connected. And then we don't give it to ourselves.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
Um.
That's my weakness. And I'm like, no, no,
Now
no.
we
Like,
gotta.
and now I'm like starting to like acknowledge that I am beautiful. I love myself. I am safe. Because otherwise I look somewhere else.
Yeah. So what has? So this is my next question, which we're kind of into it. Is like, what changes regarding life or the meaning of life uh, have you experienced in this last, for example, this last year?
Um,
Um,
like what?
well,
After?
because you mentioned like, okay, I'm done with the diagnosis. During the diagnosis, your whole family's there, everyone's there, the friends. And luego ya, okay, she's good. And then you're like, well, now what? Now what?
Yeah.
How do I come back to? Do I want to come back to what I was doing? Do I want to make some changes? Whatever. But what is the meaning of life now? Which I kind of already talked about it.
Well, I feel after, and also so after having a super fast, not fast life, but that rhythm of going like everywhere and going nowhere.
Past life, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Like after cancer, I feel now I can be more rooted, calmer, and also we do have everything. If we have health,
Yeah.
getting like health, how precious it is. We have health, our bodies. You can travel from one space to another with your
Yeah.
legs and feet.
Right.
You have everything. So just the blessing of being healthy that
Yeah.
changed my life. And also while I
Mm.
was going through chemo, I couldn't go up on a mural, no, up on a ladder or on a
Oh.
do hardcore. So I started. I asked Beth if she can help me mentor as a tattoo artist now. So now I'm tattooing, and I feel that now that I'm not just tattooing to tattooing. Most of the tattoos are clients that want to give it a holistic, approach, a closure maybe in some of their lives, an event,
Right.
maybe going through grief. No, I've done a lot of hummingbirds, tattooed a lot of hummingbirds that my mom, my dad, my grandmother,
Right.
as a symbol, very symbolic, holistic, and a healing kind of art. It's
Yeah,
good.
that's so. It's so personal. The tattoo. It's so personal. It's so intimate. Has so much meaning. It's on your body for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's how you transition into that.
Yeah, a little bit. I liked it because Beth was not. I've been asking her for years, and now, I mean, I used cancer as a tool
Right.
to my friends couldn't say no, so I'm like, now you have to teach me.
She wouldn't teach you before.
She wouldn't.
Ah,
She wouldn't
okay.
because she was afraid that we were gonna fight or something.
Mm,
Just get that because she has to be tough. It's like a
right.
teacher, and I'm like, I can handle it. I'm
Oh, yeah.
Mexican, so. And yeah, I mean,
Hija
she's
Mexicana,
perfect.
man.
I know
Anyway.
she's so good at teaching. I'm like, just if you're gonna be tough, yeah, I'm gonna fuck it up and I'm gonna screw it. And what's hard for me is to ask for help.
Mm.
Like I need to fuck it up first, and then I'll ask for help. But I'm like, no, this is kin. You can't fuck it up like this. You need
Right.
to ask for help. So, but now I'm doing great, guys. Don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fuck you up.
No,
Your
I've seen
skin.
your tattoos. They look great.
But mostly it gives me a lot of of peace. It's another type of art,
Yeah.
to heal, not from a perspective of a mural that a lot of people see it, but way more intimate, way more personal with who you're
With the person
tattooing,
you're tattooing.
because they all have a different story, and it doesn't make it more important than yours. They
Right.
have a story, and they felt it, and they went through it, and I love it that they're trusting in me to seal something, or to make closure or heal.
How does that process work? Like, does somebody just call you or they find you on your Instagram and,
Yeah,
hey, this is my story, and you design something for them, or
most of the clients that I tattoo is because they follow me, right? And now they're like, "Oh my god, you started to tattoo." Like,
right?
so most of them were like, "I cannot believe you started doing this,"
Yeah.
and they just hit me up
They want
directly,
to.
or leave me a message, and we can talk about it. And if it gets very one on one, they want a super custom tattoo. Okay, let's meet. Let's talk about what
I
you
consult
wanna
what you're gonna want.
exactly, like a whole therapy session
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
And then, okay, now let's do it. And we go through, of course, concepts, ideas, until they're happy with what I
What's out
drew.
there?
And boom. And most of them, I really appreciate the trust, because I've never had issues, like, bad issues,
Mm-hmm.
that I did something bad to their tattoo or skin. So I'm happy they trust me, and they can.
Well, it's beautiful. I mean, it's just I've seen.
Yeah.
Well, you keep posting all the work you're doing. Every time it gets more intimate, more intricate, some more, bigger. Just like, wow, look at what that,
Yeah.
and fast,
And fast.
right? Isn't that one of the things you said? Like, you were able to graduate pretty fast because, well, I mean, you've been painting for so
Because
long.
I'm old.
Because you're
Because
old.
of the experience. Yeah.
Because you've been painting for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, most of
Yeah.
it that, and I draw a lot. So I
Mm,
want my tattoos to look like my drawings, like if they were like ballpoint pen drawings, very very intricate, or
yeah.
very every line counts.
There's so much detail.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's cool. So yeah, if someone wants a tattoo, they need to reach out through your
Yeah.
Instagram,
And what really
your
helped me
webpage.
also through the treatment was writing a lot of affirmations, a lot of like maybe mantras that I've heard, or prayers that I've heard, or um, a conversation that I had with friends, and stuff that pops up. And I am going to put a journal together,
Oh
a
yeah.
gratitude journal with all the affirmations and like sketches I did through treatment. So I'm like, there's so many things I
It's
can
like a
share and do.
you're gonna do a gratitude journal, right? That people can buy and
Uh-huh.
essays. Yeah.
Yeah, like a little, something something. I'm like waiting for where to share it, but it's perfect to put it all in a journal, and also make it with spaces that it's your journal. So you're going to have to write
Right.
on it. It's going to have a lot of like
Blank
blank
pages.
pages for you to make it yours, and it's going to be a collaboration.
Yeah. Journaling is such a. You don't think it is, but it is really such a powerful tool. Um,
See.
to just write
Super
down there,
powerful.
even if it doesn't have to be like 5 pages, but like what you're grateful for, just how you're feeling, whatever, just putting it down on paper. I forget what the science behind it is, but it's just okay. There it is. I left it on the book. Bye.
Yeah, and I mean, it depends on who you talk to, because it could be like your brain is like acknowledging when you're writing, and you're manifesting and you're throwing it out,
Right.
and it for me, it helps me confirm what I feel,
Right.
and then I go back and I don't forget. I'm like, oh yeah, I was feeling like this, and this helped me. And yeah, when I'm feeling like but blank, okay, I need to go back to a journal
Yeah.
look at all of this.
And put it down again.
Yeah.
I just started again. I have so many journals. I don't even know where they are. And I always
No.
think, like, when I'm writing, I'm like, híjole, someone's going to find this when I die.
I know.
Maybe I need to burn it. I'm talking shit about people. No,
Yeah.
But you can't think that. You have to write it down anyway. Otherwise,
Just put
what's the
everything
point?
out. A nadie le importa.
A nadie le importa. And if
The
you're
end.
dead, man.
Yeah, we're not that special. Just let it out.
Exactly.
No, but we are.
Exactly. For sure. What about, like, I was going to ask you, because I know you have a show this Saturday that people can go see, right?
Ah, bueno, pero sí. I don't know if this podcast is gonna be out.
Oh, that's right.
I
It's not
haven't
gonna
had
be
any.
out.
I need to. I
Sorry.
know. I know. I feel I need to start, or it's pushing me to, and this podcast is helping a lot to come out with a stronger voice after cancer, so I can
Sí.
maybe just advocate for other people that are going through it. Not in like crowds y la madre, but just more one-on-one, to be just helping.
Right.
If you
Supporting
feel
others.
unsteady, support, what to do, where do I start. A lot of people and patients, they don't know how to get the emotional, spiritual out. They
Right.
have no idea that maybe cancer can be, and that's what I feel, and I believe that cancer is comes from the inside.
An
It doesn't come
initiation.
from out. So
Mm.
it's very emotional. There's some really big, deep emotions trapped in there that want to come out,
Right.
or they're tired of
Suppressing.
repeating and suppressing all these emotions in there. So I feel the main is working with those emotions, and because it can recur again,
Right. Processing them, being with them,
Mm-hmm.
sitting in ceremony with them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that is.
Letting them come through.
And honestly, you're so good at that. You're so good. I know you say, "Oh, no." When we're gonna sing, we're starting. Come on, let's go. And next, you have such a beautiful voice and such a powerful presence. But I guess we just all
I don't
have
know
to
why
encourage
we
each
feel.
other.
Yeah, I'm like they were like not worthy, but then I'm like, no, you are. And I like doing the one-on-one. I don't know, with crowds I get like all
Nervous.
nervousy. Like right now, podcast is like a lot of people are gonna see it, but I'm like, no, stop it. Just
Yeah.
talk from the heart. It's your story, my story, and no one else knows it but
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah. And you think it's like a Mexican thing, like no, not like a Mexican woman thing, where it was like, no, 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 calladita te ves más bonita. Like, don't be too loud, don't be too big. That's kind of how it used to be for me.
yeah, it
I've
could.
gotten over it clearly.
Yeah.
Sometimes more than others.
And that's what I admire of you. Well, if Gris can do it, and she talks right straight to the camera, like I can do it too. And then I'm like, no, I can't. Like that's why I paint, I'm like, but it's so hard for me to just talk to the camera like you, and a lot of women and a lot of people do it. I don't know why. I feel it was more that I was a bully when I was a kid.
So was I.
I
Well,
don't
no,
know.
on and off.
I feel that's what I was.
So
I
you
would
feel
like,
you're gonna get it's coming
yeah,
back to
I
you.
feel I'm gonna get
Nah.
bullied. But I mean, I got it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, that's not. But I need to go I just need to
It's a practice.
surpass that. Yeah, it's a practice.
It's a practice. Like, honestly, when I record a video or something, I don't watch it afterwards.
No
If I do
way
that,
I
no, no,
would.
no.
Oh,
I'm just like, there it is. Goodbye. And
done.
and done. You know, done, done, done. I mean, it's the unless we're trying to do like a singing thing, which, by the way, everyone, we're recording soon, so our songs are coming in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a. I mean,
I don't know what it
you
is.
don't have to like it, right? Maybe it's not everyone's thing. Like, I can't paint like you can, but no mames, que chingón. But
Yeah, I
also,
don't
like,
know.
it's a practice, I think, of, or at least it's one of my passions is to say, why Mexican beautiful, amazing woman, can't you be on the,
Yeah, get
what
it out
happened?
there.
What are you thinking about yourself that,
And I
you know?
look at like, people that do that and I'm like, how did they or they're cut differently. I don't know. It's
Right.
just a personality kind of thing. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be. Because also there's some people out there talking that you're like, ya cállate.
Yeah.
Maybe
Stop.
somebody thinks that about
And
me
I could
too.
be one of
Whatever.
those. And
They
I could
could
be
just,
with my ADD. I'm like, okay, I'm done with you. I'm done. Like right now I'm thinking like if people are still listening right now, this podcast, are we being as interesting as the beginning? Or
who
is it
cares?
getting
We're
better?
having
See,
fun.
like in the back of my mind, this is how it works.
Right.
No? But I'm like, no,
The
just
constant judgment, right?
yep.
Porque el perfeccionismo
Constant.
y blah, blah, blah.
And and I work on it. Imagine if I didn't, I'd be like
Right.
like so hard on myself.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I think it is. I'm like, people can be so hard on themselves. You don't need another bully to
Exactly.
fuck you up.
Yeah.
So I'm working a lot on myself to be, no, you can
More
do it. You're doing
compassion.
great. See how other people see you. You
Yeah.
know, like what you're telling me, how you see me. I'm like, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's how it is. And maybe sometimes I grab and put my art in front instead of me as a person,
Right.
because that's how
That's
I
how
work.
you function. Yeah.
That's how I've always functioned.
And that's cool. I remember the first time we were talking to a group. We had ceremony, remember, you and I, with I think it was like 6 women or 7 women. We had a beautiful mushroom ceremony, and then we did an integration talk with them. I don't know, a week later or so, a few days later.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that impressed me the most about you was that, okay, we were talking, we were done, the hour was over, and this one person kept going and going, and I was starting to get really irritated. Like, ya le dije. I was like, ya, no, qué pedo. And you were just like, oh, sweetie, yeah. And I just turned around and I was like, what is she?
What's wrong with her?
No, not what's wrong with her. Like, what's wrong with me that I'm being such a bitch? Ella bien linda. And I was like, wow, her tenderness, that loving tenderness, compassion that I saw. I was like, oh, we got to do this together all the time because, it's a great balance over here. And then anytime we've had ceremonies with big groups and women are struggling, because it's work. You don't go to ceremony just to party. It ends as a party, but first you're going into some work, and you always have such a compassionate, abiding presence. How you hold women, how you talk to them, this is like.
See, that personality doesn't come out more often.
Well,
that's the thing. I don't.
Not towards you.
That
right?
one is like bien guardada. It's like somewhere like, hey, yo, come out, yo.
But I mean,
But
I think it comes out pretty often.
Yeah.
I mean, we went to your house the other day, Paula and I was like, we went to pick something up, and we're like, oh my God, we're having a shitty day. Oh my God. And you're just like, well, sit down, calm down. You want some tea? Talk about it.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. So you do have that personality. Most, I think, what happens is we don't realize it. So I'm glad we're talking about this so other people don't realize it, that we're realizing it more, that it's not an arrogant thing.
No.
We've been taught that it's an arrogant thing, but self-love, self-compassion.
And that's right there. The self-love and self-compassion, it's I feel we underestimate it, or it's like self-love. No, really, it is self-love.
Yeah.
like it that's the whole thing. You
Yeah.
love yourself, then you can do anything.
Right.
Nobody else is pushing you back or holding you down. No, no, no.
Yeah. Not even yourself.
No, you can do anything.
Yeah. And one of the things I learned a couple of weeks ago, I was in the CI groups. Now the Compassion Group, you have these groups, and I don't know. They were asking all these questions about. It was an exercise of going in, and if you feel compassion, or if you feel this, if you feel that, how are you getting triggered? I think was the question.
Mm.
And so I realized how I was getting triggered. I wrote it down, and then how can you give yourself compassion for that? One of the things that came up for me was, well, it's okay that I was triggered because that's how I function sometimes. And sometimes I get upset, and sometimes I get triggered, and sometimes I want to leave a place or I want to say F you to a person. That doesn't make me a bad person. It's
No,
just that's how I
just
function
you.
sometimes. That's just
Yeah,
me. You know, I
that's how
have an
you are.
awareness of it. I don't need to change it, fix it, but I was so that's just how I function sometimes. Ni modo.
That's me.
That's me. You know, that's me.
Yeah, because then you're justifying why you did this and why you did
Exactly.
that and why did you didn't like it. It's like that's just how I
That's how I
reacted.
function.
That's it.
Ni modo. And that's compassion
To yourself. Yeah.
to yourself. You know, to not be exactly lo que acabo de decir, pero no dije y no hubiera hecho, you know, ya, qué hueva.
Yeah.
No, no, no. I think there is something beautiful about being 50 years old anymore. You
Yeah,
know?
you
You
just
don't give
don't
as
have a
many fucks.
filter anymore. And it's like also we're both Sagittarius, so we
Right.
don't have filters already, and it's really hard to. Sometimes you didn't even know, and you already like blah, 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 came out. I'm like, ooh, oh,
Did I
that
just
happened.
say that? Sorry, soy
sorry,
Sagitario.
sorry,
Lo
sorry.
siento, perdón, gracias, te amo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. Well, thanks for coming on here. This has been, I've had a good time.
How long has it been? Yeah, done.
It's been an hour. We can keep going.
No, that's fine. I mean, if you
What else do we want to say?
we cut.
We don't have to. We could keep going. You have the medicine art events, but we're not going to be able to do that because. Ahora no quieres ni acabar.
No, ay, no, ya me agarro. Ya
Now
estoy
you
al
want to
tiro.
go.
No, that was a
Um,
good podcast.
yeah, so if you want to reach out to Gloria through the Instagram at Gloria Muriel for
Yeah.
connection about
If you want, you've always thought about
tattoos.
getting a tattoo, also like more holistic approach, more healing. Um, just send me a message
Yeah,
either on Instagram or through my website,
yeah,
gloriamuriel.com, or my at Gloria Muriel. And we can definitely talk and work something out.
yeah. And I'll put the links on here as well for that. And for the website, for everything. Your book is coming up.
Yeah, journals.
Keep an eye out for that.
Journals, and thank you for having me, Grace. I know we work together. I love working together,
Thanks for coming.
and
Yeah, we do
always,
ceremonies, by the way. If you guys want to get a group together, we can come
yeah,
and
beautiful work.
and
We
show up and
sing
do some singing circles and
some healing
work with the mushrooms that are beautiful.
for
Remember
sure.
that time we were at your house? We're like, Liv, let's just take 3 grams.
No, we can't talk about this.
We can?
No,
Oh,
I don't
sorry.
know. Can we?
Are you kidding me? This is the mushroom podcast. I don't know. I just don't know. There was like this sense of I knew I grew so much during that period of time because we're like, okay, we have to sit with the medicine if we're gonna be,
Yeah.
sitting with other people. And these deep dives of scary, laughing, what is going on, and then all this information, yeah, downloads. I consider like expansions of like, whoa, did you see that this happened? I don't know. I just thought
Yeah, we're due
um,
for another one.
we are. I have to wait till end of May. I'm in integration mode, but yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's such a profound, also. I don't even know how to say it. Just such a great way to connect. Like I don't have very many close friends that I'm like, hey, let's sit with the mushroom. You know, it's like a
Mhm.
closer group because it's so vulnerable and
Yeah.
so open. And so thank you for
Oh.
those times in your altarcito. All of those ceremonies have been
Yeah.
very healing
Amazing.
for me, very fun. Uh,
Thank you.
Lots of laughs. And for para que por muchas más. Yeah.
Yeah, for many more, and for all this community that we're building, that you're building,
That we're a part of. Yeah.
medicine community, the farming, plant,
Yeah.
art, todo.
Yeah. And why medicine? Why people might be listening going, why? Because it opens your mind and it expands you. It connects you with consciousness at a more profound level than all of this trauma and beliefs and these things that were like kind of sometimes holding us back. So yeah, it's
Yes.
not for everyone, but let me tell you, if you want to try it,
If you're
hold on for the
curious,
ride. Eh?
yeah, or if you're curious, I feel the openness to just to be open to any medicine or any consejo or any something that will heal your soul, your
Right.
body, and will help you listen more to your heart, your intuition,
Yeah.
instead of what you are supposed to do, what the brain
Right.
tells you to do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Anything of that helps a
Yeah.
lot. You know, you're gonna start acting different, but everything is it's gonna put itself into place when you start trusting. You
Yeah.
know, it's not all up to you. You
Right.
know, it's not up to what you do. No, the universe is so huge, so big.
Yeah.
So you do need to trust that you're not
Yeah.
that all
And
that.
that and then there's a lot of programming. Remember one time, a lot of programming that keeps us in the mind. ¿Te acuerdas cuando me dijiste we did a? We're like, what's gonna be the word for the year? And you were like, más corazón, menos mente.
Yes. Uh-huh.
That was like 3 years ago or 2 years
See.
ago. More heart, less mind. And these, which I guess the mushrooms connect you to the heart, but also I think the integration and like you say, los consejos and hanging helps you integrate it so that you know right now is time for mind or right now it's time for heart.
Mm-hmm.
No? I don't
¿Cómo? A ver, espérate.
know. Perdón.
Perdón. Cata.
Because I want to say, God,
¿Se puede?
I guess I'm trying to say, like, you see, I told you we should have ended it. No, I'm just kidding. This is the most fun part. I think what I'm trying to say is because the mushrooms connect you to the heart. No, all of these medicines,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the
Mm-hmm.
MDMA, the psilocybin, the peyote, um, Santa Maria, que te conectan al corazón. They connect you to the heart because they connect you to the body and they get you out of just the mind. However, I do think we need the mind. O sea,
Yes,
no,
of
that's what I'm
course.
saying. Like, pero no estar todo el día en la cabeza,
Yeah.
sino to be able to find that balance, that restructuring, that reconnection to being
Yeah.
an embodied person. Because, like you said, there's so many things out there we don't even know.
And there has to be this balance, like even like with projects, like that I
Right.
have more mirror projects that need that masculine energy for me to be more of like a mind guided. Okay, no, this is business, you know, this is
Right.
more business, and I do need also to defend my post or my this project, and also the lo que recibo, no,
Right.
the money that I'm charging. It's like I need to
Right.
be also not to be like, oh, soft, okay, I'll give you this, because
Yeah.
I
No. No.
also need to, you know, and that's
The
where your
big
mind comes
boundaries.
in and yo, come on, let's get tough right here, porque you don't leave out of
Right.
just your
Out of
breath,
just your
you know,
breath.
and the love for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that the mind is very, of course, you have to just make a team, no? El
Right.
corazón, la
Make a team.
mente, espíritu, cuerpo. It's a team, just like we make teams in communities. You have your builders, no? You have los contadores, the accountants,
Right.
this and that, and you
The
have to make that
designers.
design exacto.
A team in the
A
body.
team in the
The
body and
body,
team
the
in
heart. Yeah.
the outside.
Being connected. It's funny you said you mentioned the whole listening to the body because No me acuerdo, güey, but we talked like 2, 3 days ago, and I had just thought, I made myself a coffee, y no me gustó. Dije, why am I drinking coffee? Mejor me tomo el té verde. I thought my body just doesn't want coffee right now. No me estoy poniendo una regla ni nada. I'm not making the rules about it. But then you call and you're like, yeah, I think I'm switching to matcha for a bit.
Yeah.
Just to be able to say, yeah,
Yeah.
man, I know what my body needs.
Because sometimes you get super like, yeah, oh, this is a routine. It's part of the habit.
have to
It's
drink it.
okay. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, wait, my body's changing. Because I felt little something in my skin, you know?
Right.
Y es cuando that's when I get a little bit like angsty.
Right.
And then I'm like, okay, it's affecting my skin. And where am I going to start? Where I know. I
The
should-
cortisol.
It's called
Drop the cortisol.
caffeine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like just chill here. Like, or milk. No, sometimes I take the
Little
raw
break from
milk or
dairy.
grass fed, good milk, but I need to lay off the milk
Switch
for a
it
little
around
bit,
and see.
switch it around. Yeah, you always have a time to, restart and experiment with your body, but don't
Not all
stay
the
there
time.
all the time. Yeah.
I just think it's funny
Just
how
listen.
my body just, it's not like, it's different than, yes, I hear what you're saying. You can experiment. Like, maybe if I stop eating all that chocolate, I will be able to sleep better at night, you know? Yeah, let's try that.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, I'm drinking the coffee and I'm like, this doesn't taste good.
Wow.
It doesn't feel good. Pero me lo voy a tomar anyways. I'm just drinking anyways because, well, I have to go do this and that, and it's going to give me the energy, you know?
No. And it's so funny because
I
you
was
just
like, I
need
don't
one
know.
sip for caffeine, you don't need that much, as
Right.
much like we take, and then you're like,
Yeah.
ah.
I mean, I have decaf even here.
Oh,
I just
that's
get,
good.
Yeah, my sensitivity levels
Just for
are
the taste of it.
just for the taste of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're doing matcha now. We'll keep you posted how
Yeah.
the matcha goes.
Green tea, matcha.
Yeah. Whatever else. Do you want to sing a song?
No, Grisela.
No, ya párale, Grisela.
No.
Okay, well, welcome back and sing a song. ¿Segura?
Yeah.
La de Reverdece.
No, we'll sing one. No, I don't remember that
Okay,
one.
okay, I don't
need to
either. I
practice
don't even have the
it.
words. We'll have
Don't
to
put
go
me on
find
the
the words.
spot.
Okay. We'll come back and do a song next time.
Muy bien.
Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you so
Please,
much.
Yeah. Please share, subscribe. Go find Gloria's website.
And hopefully we'll do a
Get a
Spanish
tattoo.
one.
Sí. Hay que hacer un
Too.
español. Couple
Ajá.
weeks. Un
En
español.
español pronto.
Yeah.
Bueno.
All right. All you English speakers, we love you. This was for you. It's easier for us to go at it in Spanish, but we know that English is a beautiful language.
We're
and
more
I'm very
serious.
grateful.
We're serious in
We're more serious in
English.
English, huh?
Yeah, in Spanish maybe we would have like fooled around and
A
joked
little
around,
more.
so that's good.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. All right, you guys.
Bye.
See you next time.